Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make sausage gravy for biscuits and gravy. So I'm going to start off with this Jimmy Dean sausage. It's just ground sausage. I prefer the ground sausage. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it into a pot. You want it either in a pot or a really large pan, large enough for the amount of gravy you're going to make to fit in there. So I just go ahead and put it in the pan, and then either with a spatula or a spoon, just try and break it up a little so that everything cooks evenly and you don't have really big chunks that are not cooked all the way through. This is pork sausage, so you have to be very careful and make sure it is fully cooked. You can also, if you know how to, make your own sausage, but I don't do all that. This is good enough for me. So once I get it broken up a little, I cover it, and that helps it cook all the way through. And I cover it for like 2 minutes, and then I go ahead and I break it up again. So you see me just breaking it up and stirring it around. I also like to cover it to try and keep most of the moisture in there. I don't want like the grease to cook out, because the grease is what you make the gravy with. So I just keep it covered, and I just continue to do this until it is fully cooked, and I kind of let it brown a little. So you see the spots that are more brown, I kind of toast it up. So here you see me going in with the spatula just to try and get the bigger chunks down. And then again, I cover it and I let it cook up a little. So once it is fully cooked, I go ahead and I sprinkle in some flour. And the amount of flour is going to differ depending on how much gravy you want, as well as how much meat you cooked. So I'm just adding it at a teaspoon, probably about a teaspoon at a time. And you want the flour to soak up all of the oil. And then you want to cook it a little just to get that raw edge off the flour. I mean, you don't really have to, because I've done it without it and it tastes all the same. But then I'm going to go ahead and add my milk. The amount of milk is going to differ depending again on how much gravy you want. I just pretty much eyeball it. I just put enough milk to completely cover all of the meat. And I do go in and I add a little bit more. You add salt and pepper to taste. I like a lot of pepper, and I do add quite a bit of salt, not too much, but you got to remember that all the milk is unflavored. So if you weren't to add if you didn't add the salt, it wouldn't taste right. So I do make sure I add enough salt. And once it starts to thicken, I do a taste test and make sure it tastes good. If not, I do add more salt or pepper. And then you're basically going to keep it on a medium-high heat and just keep on whisking. Here's when I added a little bit more milk. So I probably added like 4 cups of milk. I should have measured, I'm sorry. But I just was doing this quickly because the biscuits were ready way before the gravy. So as you can see, you just want to keep on whisking it, and don't stop whisking it because it will start to burn on the bottom. I just keep whisking it and whisking it until it thickens up. If you see that it's not thickening up, you add a little bit more flour, just probably a teaspoon at a time until it's the thickness that you want. I don't even think that was probably a teaspoon, but I just add a tiny bit at a time and just keep whisking it and whisking it. And you do see it is starting to boil, so that's why you do not want to stop whisking it. You want to keep whisking it. How many times am I going to say whisking it, huh? So you just want to keep whisking it though, because it will burn like I mentioned. And then I did the taste test and needed more salt, so I put a little more salt. And this is all up to personal preference, the salt and the pepper. And keep in mind that it will look a little runny, but once it starts to cool, it does thicken up. You could see it's starting to thicken up. And then once it cools, it thickens up a whole lot. So you just keep on whisking away and make sure it's not sticking at the bottom. And then it's done. I just let it set out a little to cool off. You don't want to eat it boiling hot, so I just let it cool down a little. I put my biscuits in the bowl. If you have not seen that video and you want to see how I made my biscuits, I'll leave it in the description. Check it out. And then I put my gravy on top, and that is it. It's so freaking good. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys try it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.